How's it going? I'm Ryan. Today I'm going to go over the one trade that I took on NQ. I took a long coming off the low of the day, ended up taking one trade that was a nice winner, and that was it for me. We'll go over that trade in just 1 second, but first I'm going to go over a few levels I was watching on the day. Coming into the day, I was kind of watching for potential rejection around 245, this level up in here, or a potential bounce around 170. I also had a level down here at 135 and another at 215, and then this level up here at 280, we'll call it, yeah, about 280. So coming into the day, I'll pull up the hourly time frame just so we can look at what we've been doing. Yesterday, we kind of made a double top and then had a big move down before eventually recovering in the after hours, or in the evening and into the after hours. From there, though, we made a lower high, and then we're on this move down when today opened. So we had been making a series of higher highs, higher lows. Yesterday kind of broke that trend with failing to make a higher high, breaking this low here, setting a lower low, and then setting a lower high as well from the move that brought us down there. Coming into today, we were on this move down, so I was watching for a potential lower high to form. I was expecting kind of a move down potentially because we were selling off in the pre-market as well, making lower lows, lower highs on the 5-minute. So was watching potential areas for rejection and for potential areas for a bounce. So coming into the day, we open up and kind of in between two levels, we could come down, get close to that 170, but not quite to it. Come up and reject off that 215 or so, come right back down. At this point, I was looking for a potential bounce here at 170, depending on how price was looking and how the volume profile on the 5-minute was looking. So I'm gonna pull that up because I did not take this trade, and I think it's a valuable reason why. First of all, what I would want to see is price wicking below this level and then closing at least close to it or above it. And then in addition to that, I would want to see these points of control on these 5-minute candles. I would want to see those much lower. So this point of control being right here, pretty much at the open of that candle, and having that candle close much lower and wick even lower than that, that's bearish to me. That doesn't show a good sign that I would expect a bounce here. Now we did get a little bit of volume come in right at the bottom, but for the most part that volume was concentrated up at the top and then it moved lower. So that to me was still pretty bearish. I wasn't expecting a bounce at this moment. Following candle, we did get a move up. We did get a bit of a bounce, but we also had that same thing, the point of control being kind of, I guess, near the mid or a little above the midpoint of that candle. I would want to see that once again a little bit lower, but that wasn't too concerning. The next candle is really what did it to me, so I was undecided at this point, was waiting on this next 5-minute candle to see if I was interested in taking this trade. However, that candle closed below the level, and then once again that point of control is pretty high up in the candle, indicating that there's not a lot of people buying, supporting the price right here. So didn't see it in the price very much, didn't really see it in volume profile either. If I look at the 1-minute, we can take a look at that as well. And we can just see the overall price wasn't looking very strong, right? We did get a little bit of a bounce on this candle, but even within that candle on the 1-minute, we have a lot of long upper wicks and not a lot of volume either, right? That volume's declining as it's moving up. And so it's looking weak, the volume's weak, volume profile isn't great. So nothing here really interested me. Then we broke below, retested, and sold off. That would have actually been a pretty good opportunity to go short, as we had a pretty explosive move lower for about 60 points. But we did move lower and approach my next level at 135. So I wasn't really expecting to take a position here. We did wick off it pretty well on this candle that brought us there, but then we closed below. And then quickly moved up and regained it. But what caught my interest in this trade that did not catch my interest in the previous trade, and the reason why I did end up taking this long, is the volume profile plays a big point, but also price action and volume. So let's take a look. First of all, we came off and wicked volume point of control on that 5 minute. It's pretty low in the candle. The next candle though, we break below, but that point of control is really low, down at 125. Price fails to close lower than that and actually closes up around like 130 or so. And then the following candle holds that and moves higher. Then we get a break back above this level, and the following candle is a hammer, and it's a retest, and we see the point of control on that right at that level. That's kind of what we'd want to see. That's what I didn't see up here, but that's what I want to see in terms of a bounce, right? I want to see that volume shifting down to the lows of these candles, and I want to see price start to push back up. And that to me is showing that there's a lot of volume down low. Price is moving off of those lows, telling me that there's buyers stepping in, and then getting price action to match that. As well as if we look at the 1 minute, what we had up here was a lower low, weak price action, low volume, and then the decline. But what we have here is the opposite, right? We see volume start to spike on these moves higher, and we see strong moves higher, right? Wicks to the downside as opposed to the upside. Nice moves higher. We had this little, if you want to call it a swing high on the 1 minute. We clear that, we form a higher low, and we start holding this level at 135. We start hitting it, forming hammers on higher volume, and then I entered following that. So once we kind of got that confirmation on the 5 minute, things were looking pretty good. I was pretty convinced the price was on move higher. I took my first profit right at this level, so about 25 points. I would usually put it at 30 for my first take profit, but I wanted to be a little bit more conservative and not try to be too greedy in case this was just a short bounce. You know, we had been trending down for this day, so I didn't necessarily know that this was going to be the low of the day and that we'd recover and move higher, but I figured I could at least get a nice, 25, 30 points out of it. Price moved up pretty quickly. Additionally, what I was watching is that on the 5 minute, there's a bit of a void in the volume, right? We have a lot of volume down here, and then we have a lot of volume up here, but in between, not a lot. Specifically, once we got above 150, it was pretty good up to about 175, 180. And that's what we see, right? If we look at the price action, we see that price was wicking around this like 150 area. And then once we broke it, we got an explosive move higher. So really cool to see that play out, just using liquidity and using volume to kind of base the thesis behind the trade, and then watching that play out in real time. So that's it. That was the only trade I took. We are up 323 and 66 or 76 cents. Not bad at all. Very happy with that. Looking at the price action, throughout the rest of the day, respecting these levels pretty well. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So gonna do some back testing today and just see if I can really define a true strategy and really drill things in. But right now, as long as I can be patient and kind of read things as they happen, I think there's a lot of potential. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I do stream live Monday through Friday. Stop by if you'd like. Have a great day. Peace.